Hi fellow Nigerian, you are welcome to this channel. Today I want to discuss with you about livestock farming in Nigeria. I'll be talking about different livestock farming, and I'll be giving you some very good tips. Especially I'll give you some of the advice that you can never ever hear elsewhere. Let me start with that. The advice I think you can never hear or it is not common out there is that where things are not the way they appear to look. You know, these days you hear about diversification, you hear about economy is changing, agriculture is the next goal and things like that, and most of those noise and news are coming from the government angle, and the objective is to actually encourage people to see and go into agriculture. But I have a warning to throw to you out there, and the warning is, believe me, I am telling you what I know. It is not the way everybody talk about it. Now, people talk about poultry farming, they talk about pig farming, they talk about snail farming, they talk about other farming out there which belongs to livestock farming. And when they talk about it, they give you testimonies of how you can, eat it and make millions, just as if it is A, B, and C. But I'm here to tell you, it is not like that. And the question you will ask me is, Steve, why is it not like that? I have an answer for you. The reason why it is not like that is all these are businesses. Either you talk about cattle farming, you talk about, snail farming, you talk about fish farming, they are businesses. And I'm telling you from my experience in the business world for the past going to 2 decades, no business is cheap. I know every business requires preparation, diligence. I mean, you can't just think because our country is diversifying economy. If I go start poultry farming now, I'm going to make a whole lot of money because we are that. It is not as simple as that. Now, first, you are going to be confronting with the fact that when you start the business, you are going to be competing with others that are already there. Now, you are going to be confronting with the fact that the dollar price affects our currency, which eventually affect the cost of feeding and all sorts of things like that. Now, I am not saying all this to scare you. I just decided to come out to tell you the truth, which most other people will not want to tell you. A lot of people tell you sweet word and sweet things as if it is so cheap. It is not. Now, after I have told you that, what exactly am I trying to achieve? Now, what I'm trying to achieve is I really want people to understand the fact that all these things we are talking about are businesses. They are not farming. Poultry business is not farming. When you are going to piggery, you are not starting a pig farm. When you are starting fish farm, you are not starting a farm. You are actually starting a business. Now, if we understand this basic truth, we will know exactly what I am saying. And what I'm saying here is that every business on earth is tough. Now, if you don't believe this, just ask for a moment, why is it that 90% of people all over the world love to have job? Not really because they like the job, but because at least it is easier to have job. Businesses have headaches. Job does not have much headache. At least not as business. You wouldn't lose your investment if you are an employee. You wouldn't wake up one morning and discover that 2,000 of your birds have died. You wouldn't wake up one morning to discover that 5,000 fish in your pond have died. Things like that doesn't happen to you as an employee. So the headaches are not there. That is the reason why people run to get job. Now, if you are now decided to start a business, you have to understand it is a business. So business is tough. So is fish farming, so is poultry farming, so is pig farming, so is snail farming. Why? Because they are business. All right. Now, after I have hammered that and believe that you have actually taken to my word and you really understand what I'm saying here, all right, I have another advice to give you, and that is whichever of these livestock business you intend to go into, you must take a whole lot of time to really study and understand the way they work. I receive by the virtue of who I am, I have I have my company in Lagos. We have in our team, we have a connection of farmers in virtually every state of Nigeria. And this farmer work together with our company, and we help people who are coming up to start a farm. Now, with the virtue of my position, I usually receive call from people. This one will say, I start a fish farm, and the person that advised me to start a fish farm is not by my side, and I'm losing my fish. I don't know how to go about it. Now, the problem in this arrangement is, this is the person who has never taken time to get the education. Now, other people just go to the internet, they go to Google, they go to YouTube, they pick some videos and some book, and after they have read that, they think, I'm good to go, now I can start my poultry business. It is not as simple as that. You know why? Because everything you can see on the internet, and I mean everything you can see on the internet about all this livestock farming are going to be nothing but introductory to them, or chapter 1. It's just like a book of 12 chapters, and you read introduction and you read chapter 1, and you say, now I can go for examination. No. How simple is that going to be? So now, the truth is, most of the things you are going to come across on the internet about, either you are talking about poultry farming, you are talking about fish farming, you are talking about pig farming, even if you spend 5 days searching and reading, at the point you discover that even the information you are reading are confusing. Have you tried that before? Just go to Google and browse, start reading. Before you read about 10 results in the first page of Google, you discover that even the information you are getting there are conflicting. Why is it conflicting? Well, maybe I'll tell you that later. Now, what I'm advising you is that get a real farmer who has been in that field for certain years to really hold you by the hand, to tutor you, to guide you. This is how to do this is how to do that. To train you for a moment, or if it is not going to be you that will manage your business, the person that will manage it, get him trained. I mean, this is going to be of great help for you. Now, having said that, now the third thing I need to tell you is this. Most people really want to get the return on their investment now, or next month, or next 3 months. But in most businesses, you discover that things are not always like that. I received a call from a woman. I think she was calling from United States or United Kingdom. I really cannot remember right now. And she was planning to start a pig farm, and she was asking me, like, how much can I have in return? I mean, my conversation with her actually showed that she was planning to start a business, invest, some millions, and get that back, as fast as possible. But in most cases, what you discover is it is not always like that. Most of the things that become greatly successful, people have invested in them at a long time. People have taken time to actually pay the price. You can't just blow 5 million naira, for instance, now into fish farming and think next year I must have getting 10 million. It is not always like that. So now it requires that you have a little patience. You are able to look at it from the perspective that, okay, if I invest now, the first year, the first 2 years, the first 3 years, okay, I will recuperate my investment, and depending on the case, I will then start making the profit. All right, I've given you these 3 advice. The other thing I think I should tell you about livestock farming is that in livestock farming, one most important thing which you have to pay attention to is managing your cost. Because if you are not able to manage your cost, it doesn't really matter. Either you are trying to start poultry, you are trying to try pig farming, you are trying to start snail farming or whatever. If you are not able to manage your cost, which in most cases feeding is going to take, most of them averagely 70% of your investment are going to go into feeding. So now if you are not able to actually manage your investment, the cost, if you are not actually manage the cost, you discover that you have spent your entire investment to feed, and either overfeeding or buying wrong feed or something like that, then you discover that by the time you sell off your poultry bed, or you sell off your fish or whatever, you get nothing in return. So I think these are just random advice. These are the areas I think people are messing it up. Now, if you have a specific livestock farming you are trying to start, you can look around in this channel, or even search. If you search, you are likely to see my videos on pig farming, on poultry farming, on snail farming, on maize farming, or that is not livestock anyway, on catfish farming, you know. Then you see details about them. Now, if in any way you need our company to help you for one or two of these, what you do is dial our office number. We operate from Lagos. You just have to dial 081 0044 60 44. You will see that line on the screen right now, 081 0044 60 44. Now, if you dial the line, you are going to speak with somebody from my office. Now, the way we operate is we are having a group of more than 250 people who are associated with our company. These people are into poultry, they are into pig farming, different kind of farming. We are a team of people with different specialization and skill, and regardless of which of them you are going to, we should have somebody in our team, experienced farmer, who can handle your project, advise you, or take you for training, so that you wouldn't make mistake that will lead to loss of your investment. Thank you so much, and hope to speak with you. 081 0044 60 44. I'm Steve Oloruni.